Welcome to the podcast. It's Mr. Ish. We're here at Kips Bay Boys and Girls Club, ready to do another podcast. It's only been 3 hours of podcasting straight. So I'm a little tired, but nevertheless, we have another group, and they have something on their minds. So let's go around, introduce ourselves, and we'll jump right on the topic. First.
Hi, my name is Nadia, and I'm 8 years old.
Welcome back, Nadia.
Hi, my name is Eddie, and I am...
Come on, Eddie, give me your right voices. Now people are going to be like, who's this guy?
Okay. Okay. Hi, my name is Eddie, and I'm 8 years old.
He's 8 years old, and he's in the 8th
So
grade.
you're not in college?
That's what he said.
It's similar.
What about you?
Hi, my name is Clemente, and I'm 8 years old.
And you in college?
No.
Okay, I'm just checking because Eddie's in 8th grade, and he's 8 years old.
I'm just kind of,
Yeah, he's probably in 4th grade.
What, 4th grade? No.
Well, welcome to the podcast. Today's topic is, if you had the chance to interview your mom or your dad, what questions would you ask them? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go around to Clemente first. We're going to start on this side. So if you had to ask your mom questions, think of it as you interviewing your mom, all right? I'm going to play your mom. What question would you ask your mom or your dad?
When did you get your phone?
When did you get your phone? Oh, when they got their first cell phone?
Yeah.
Okay, that's one question. What else would you ask? Come on, get some good questions in there, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of juicy things in there.
There's a lot.
That's definitely.
I don't know what questions I want to ask because I like 10.
You have 10? Come on, all right. So we're going to skip around. Let's go around one question each, and then we'll go around another time. Eddie, what question would you ask your mom or dad if you had them here to interview them?
I'll ask both, but it'll be quick.
Okay, what would be the question?
First, Mom.
Okay.
When did you get your job?
When did you get your job?
2.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Dad. When did you start... when did you start getting your shoes?
I guess when he could walk. That could be my answer. You're not going to walk outside in socks. I could answer that question. I'm not even your dad. Or maybe I am. All right, I'm not. What question would you ask your mom or your dad?
Where do I live? Because I don't know.
You know where you live. You live in the Bronx right now.
Yeah, but the
What you mean?
when I like.
Oh, when you was born? Where
You mean
was
the
she living
avenue?
at? You want to know the address? I could tell you that. Francis could tell you that.
I know my address.
We'll figure that out for you.
Me too. I know my address.
Let me see. If I had to ask my mom or dad a question, it would be more like, when or where did you meet mom at?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like when did they start dating and stuff like that?
Every time I go to sleep, I ask them, Mommy, tell me a story. When did you guys meet? And she's like,
Yeah, that's just you see.
online. We met on Facebook.
Oh, they met on Facebook? Or they met on. You know what they probably met at? On Mi Gente.
My
Where's
mom
that?
never
Mi
told
Gente, yeah.
us.
Tell your mom. They met on Mi Gente. They didn't meet on Facebook. Facebook was like 2 days ago. Mi Gente was back. Mi Gente was back in the
My
days.
mom never read me a bedtime story.
You don't read your bedtime story? I read a bedtime story every single day.
Wait, to your daughter?
Sometimes the same one.
She's too lazy.
No, well, she needs to get on it. Well, before my daughter was born, I was reading bedtime stories to my wife's belly. So
Oh, so you should
reading
like...
is good.
Yeah, it's like...
Clemente, back to you. What would be a good question to ask your parent? You see how mine was good? It was thought out. Come on, give me a good question.
When did you start ice skating?
When did they start ice skating? Okay, at what age? What about you, Eddie? What's another good question to ask your parents?
When did you guys get your number? Like your phone number.
When they got a phone, they got a phone number. Come on, guys, just
Yeah,
go
that's
for it.
very
When you're a kid, you get like a email with your email, and then you can just call each other without a phone number.
No, come on, Eddie. That's not well thought out. Come on.
Oh, okay.
What's another good question for your parents?
I'm gonna think about it.
You're not gonna tell me nothing? Do I gotta skip you and go to me again?
Yeah.
Okay. My next question for my parents would be, how was it growing up with your parents? Like I don't know how it was to live with my grandmother or my grandfather. So how was it when you was a child to live with these people? It was older. They're old. I mean, they passed away now, but they were older. So in that time, there wasn't like TV.
They were your age then.
No. My grandmother died at 101. So she was.
Oh.
And that's because in Puerto Rico, the birth certificates, they weren't given out the same day that you were born, sometimes 2 or 3 years later. So we thought she was like 97 and she was actually 101.
She didn't even tell you.
No, we didn't know. We didn't know. So it was a big thing in Puerto Rico. Like the birth certificates were like off 2 or 3 years.
Is Puerto Rico nice?
Yeah, it's very nice.
Is the beach nice?
The
Okay,
beach is
Dad.
beautiful. We're going back. So she has a question. So what would be something you asked your parents?
How did you first met?
How you first met?
Yeah, she said something would start with an M, and I said Mexico.
Oh, where they met and stuff like that? Okay, that would be nice. Because maybe they had a nice, love story. Maybe they went on a nice first date and they were friends
Dinner.
before or something like that.
She had dinner with them.
A little dinner. Okay. So that's nice. So let me see what would be another question that I could ask my parents. How was it, because they're both from Puerto Rico, how was it living in Puerto Rico as a child?
That's actually a nice question.
So, we go there and we visit every once in a while, or, I did when I was younger. But I wouldn't know what it is to live in Puerto Rico because I never did. I lived in New York all my life. So a question like that would be a nice question to ask your parents.
I was gonna ask that, but
Come on, my questions are good. These are well thought out.
I got a good question.
Okay, tell me, Eddie.
It's gonna fire yours up.
Don't tell me what size shoe he is. I don't want to hear a question like that.
When did you guys first get a house?
When they signed the mortgage and the bank gave them the money. Come on, Eddie. I could answer these questions myself.
I don't know questions.
Oh, come on.
When did they get your car?
Clemente, it's on you,
buy
Clemente.
it.
Come on, Clemente. You could change this around.
When did you get a job and why did you
Okay.
choose that job?
He's making an explanation.
Why? Well, why? Why did you get that job? Maybe they went to work because out of necessity for the family. Maybe, she had to go to work at a young age because the family needed income. Or maybe she went to work and she started as a summer youth and all of a sudden she, became a permanent. Come on, man. That's a good
They
question.
could study.
I got another question from my parents. My father was in the Navy. He was in the Navy.
What is that?
That's the Army, Navy.
Oh, like a
the
U.S. Army?
Marines. Yeah. So he was in the Navy, but he really refuses to talk. He refuses to talk about the Navy that much. He doesn't talk about his days in Vietnam. No, in Vietnam and all that stuff. So
Wait, he was in Vietnam?
So I would like to ask him questions more pertaining to that. Like, how was it, when there was wartime? How was it to be young and be in the Navy? Because they go 6 months, 8 months sometimes, and they're on a boat all that time. They can't see they can't see their family and all that. So maybe questions pertaining to that. How was it to be in the Navy?
He was in Vietnam.
I got one.
Although they just fight a lot.
That was during a war. That was during a war. So
Wait, the U.S. war?
there was a war. It was called the Vietnam War. So my dad was a veteran of the Vietnam War.
I want to ask my parents is, how was it growing up?
Yeah, it was a different era. It was a different time. I mean, I know my growing up is totally different than my girls growing up. My girls had iPads and phones and all that stuff.
That's electronic. You should take that away.
I know,
from
but
them.
if I wanted to see my friend, I got on my bike and I went to his house. Like that's the way we did it.
She said, it's hard when you grow up.
And when I met a girl that I was interested in when I was a little older, I tell her I'm gonna call you in your house, which was a house phone at a certain time. And that's how you made a phone call. You don't pick up a cell phone.
Yeah, a house phone. I got that.
No, you just say hi.
No, because before you had to ask permission. What about if somebody, let's say Francis has a sister, and maybe her sister's boyfriend was calling at 6:00. Francis needed to make sure he cleared that line by 6:30 because his girl was calling. So come on, get off the phone. I'm expecting a phone call. So you had to do those things. And maybe grandma was, ready to use the phone to call your auntie, or your mother wanted to call somebody. So if someone told you they're going to call you between 6:30 and 7, you need to clear that line between 6:30 and 7. Like, you need to be on the phone ready to box out.
Oh, yeah, like the telephone number, home number?
Yeah, you didn't want to. You had to make sure that you got that phone call. There was no messages and none of that stuff. So, that was a different. It was a different time.
The home number goes like.
All right,
ding,
we're gonna
ding,
go.
ding.
We're gonna go around one more time. One more question that you would like to ask your parents, and with this one, we're gonna end it.
Yeah, don't pick me because I got nothing.
Well,
I got nothing.
you're going
I got
next.
something.
You're going
I got
next.
something.
Clemente, another good question.
How old were you when you got your phone?
Didn't you ask that already? What is it with you and the fascination with a phone?
It's electronics.
Yeah, come on. How old were you when you got the keys to the house? Like how old were you
your
when
license?
when you got your license? Come on, Eddie. That's a good question. You batting 0-3. You don't have one good question yet.
I'm terrible. Okay.
I know. I see you so far. Tell me. One good question. Come on, Eddie. You got this.
When were you born?
It says it on their birth certificate when they were born.
Okay.
Yeah, my
Come
mom
on,
told me.
Eddie. Come on. The crowd is cheering you on, but I can't with you, Eddie. Let me see one more question before I go. Oh, you have one?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see what's another question for you.
Okay. No, I forgot.
You forgot it?
Oh no.
All right,
Wait. No. How was it in Santo Domingo? Because I never went to Santo Domingo.
Okay, so she wants to know how was it
in
how was it
school?
in the motherland in Santo Domingo? Maybe that's a
I
combination.
never went to Santo Domingo. I only went to Pennsylvania, Mexico, and Florida.
Okay, so she wants to know how was it in Santo Domingo when they were young and they were born.
Ooh, I got a juicy one.
Now you have a question?
Yeah, I got
All
a
right, we're
juicy
going
one.
to try this one more time. If the crowd doesn't go for you, Eddie, I don't know what to tell you. Let me see what you got.
Please pray for me. Okay. How was it in school? Yay!
1 out of 4. How was it in school?
1 out of 4.
It's all right, Eddie. I'll give you credit for that one. Let me see if I had one more question. My father was from the stories I heard. My father was very young when he had to go to work because he had 6 brothers and sisters. You know, like a combination. He has 7 siblings, and my dad went to work I think when he was 12 years old.
That's like a very young age to go to work.
Yeah, so I would like to ask him a question of like stuff like that. Like what? I mean, I know what he was doing. He was like shining shoes and stuff like that at that age.
Whoa.
So he was like the man of the house. So at 12 years old, he had to make money for the family.
So he's a shoe polisher then.
No, he's not shoe polishing now. But I'm talking about when he was young. That's what little kids did. Little kids stood in the corner and they shined shoes and they got a nickel and that was it.
A nickel?
Yeah.
That's very.
So I would like to ask some questions about that, about working so young at a young age and how he handled it and.
True.
So, all right. Well, that was definitely an interesting topic. I don't know who came up with it, but it was a nice topic.
Yeah, my topics were terrible.
Yeah, your questions were terrible. The topic was wonderful. The questions were terrible though.
Mine was it.
Yeah, it was alright. And I guess Clemente just wants to know when his mother got his first phone. So we're just gonna ask her when she comes to pick you up today. We're just gonna ask her. And
Your questions were fire.
Yeah, I think about that. All right, guys. Well, you ready to do the ending? All right. Say your shout outs. Goodbye.
Bye.
Check. 1 2 1 2. Check.
We're gonna start interviewing your parents. That's what's gonna happen.